Prego.
Sì, una domanda per Kim Cattrall. Sono Alessandra Grassi per il Roma Fiction Festival, il reportage. Questo è un premio del pubblico, quindi popolare se vogliamo. Quindi questo testimonia che la televisione comunque crea un rapporto con il pubblico, anche se in modo diverso dal teatro. Quindi lei ha fatto anche teatro, e quindi qual è proprio la differenza del rapporto col pubblico, che non è diretto, però evidentemente è molto forte, se è stata eletta, insomma, comunque se ha vinto questo premio.
Ecco, e lo estendiamo anche, visto che va per la documentazione di questo festival, anche per Mr.
Certo,
Meloni,
sì, sì, sì.
Il fatto, come il rapporto della televisione, insomma, la vostra popolarità televisiva diventa mondiale, worldwide, quindi come, insomma, faccio seguito a quello che diceva la collega, come c'è questo cambiamento con il rapporto del pubblico?
I don't really feel that audiences are that different. I mean, I think it's more immediate because it's live. But I think to tell stories, you know, the audience is there since the cavemen around the fire. I think that we all want to hear about life and things that reflect our lives, for good, bad, indifferent. I know that's why I go to the theater. I know that's why I go and see a film, whether it's to laugh and just forget for a moment, or to inspire or educate. I feel that to be part of what we do is a great honor, because it's also a responsibility. I recently did a film for PBS about the life of Rudyard Kipling, and I played his wife. And this was a genius, a real genius of a man who wrote and told amazing stories, but he was also a very flawed man. And to play a woman of 1914, having been brought up a woman of the 70s, 60s, 70s, and 80s, was an incredible challenge for me. But I learned much more about World War I. I learned much more about being a woman. I learned much more about being a wife and a mother of a son who's killed in a war. And times and things don't really change. I mean, history does not teach us very much, or we refuse to listen. But I think that is the struggle that is human, and that is the reason that I am so happy in what I do, is to be part of telling those stories.
Mr. Meloni, do you want to elaborate on the relationship with the audience?
No, I'm in accordance with my fellow actor here. I think it's just a matter of, no matter what medium you choose, it really is just a communication. You're communicating this emotional state, this moment, particular behaviors, and you know, if it is impactful to the audience, so much the better. I mean, that's why I think they come to you and they stop you on the street and have nice words for you, or they wait for you after the show at the theater.
Adriana Marmiroli per Film TV, là in fondo, poi andiamo alla collega dell'ANSA, prego.
Adriana Marmiroli, Film TV. La domanda che volevo fare a tutti e due è quanto dopo tanti anni con un personaggio, questo personaggio è diventato parte di loro, nel senso che alcuni aspetti del loro carattere sono stati desunti dal personaggio. Penso soprattutto a Christopher Meloni, che interpreta questo poliziotto così viscerale, profondamente coinvolto nelle indagini che fa. Ecco, quanto lui si sente così viscerale, coinvolto, magari anche con i temi che affrontano in Law and Order.
That's a nice question. The answer is, my character on Law and Order, I think, sees the world much more in shades of black and white. I personally see shades of gray in issues of right and wrong and kind of moral behaviors, that sort of thing. But I think for my character, that's what leads him into problems. I think, you know, how I how he feels about tackling the bad guys, not literally, but solving crimes and getting to the root of justice and what is correct and right. I think I share that in my job. I mean, my job is to get material, get in there, tear it apart, and get to the kernel, the truth of moments. So maybe that comes out in that respect. As far as just over the long haul, I think over time he's infected me, I've infected him. I think I've become a different, or at times maybe a better person, a little more evolved, because I've seen myself through working 14-hour days, 5-6 days a week, and that does things to a human being. I still enjoy doing it, though.
I think when you have writers specifically writing for you, I think that the writers and the actors start almost an unconscious dance. I remember one day reading a script for a read-through. We would do 2 shows at the same time on Sex and the City, and sometimes with 2 different directors. So through the course of the day we would have work with one director, and then we would switch and work with another. And I remember I had just gotten prescriptive glasses. It was that wonderful moment where I couldn't see as well. And within 2 weeks, Samantha was getting glasses, but they took it one step further. She wanted to have herself photographed because she felt that she was getting older and she looked great right now, and she wanted some kind of evidence of this for posterity. So I think that writers and actors and the characters that you create and portray does rub off. I've never played a role as long as Samantha. I'm sure you've never played a role as long in your life, because you never will again. And it takes a big chunk out of your life. I mean, we were joking last night, or I was with Chris, saying that we were on top of this amazing castle looking at this incredible view, and I said, this is one of the reasons that we do these 18, 19-hour days, is to also experience these wonderful things of life that being on a successful show can give you. But I think it really influences you. You influence it. That's what makes it alive. That it keeps evolving. That it keeps growing. I think the programs, the plays, the films that don't work with reoccurring characters is when they stay the same. I mean, the 7 years to go through, all kinds of crazy different sexual escapades with Samantha, and then have her have breast cancer, and then try monogamy. I mean, these are all things. It's like taking one step forward and one step back, but the characters, they have to innately stay the same to be true to who they are, but they also must evolve as we do.
Allora, prego la collega qui e poi Francesca Perleone dell'ANSA, prego. Lei che ha il microfono, signora, lei.
Silvia Grazzi di 7 TV.